For over a decade, the Roloff family has captivated audiences with their reality series Little People, Big World, which follows their lives on a farm in Oregon. The show initially focused on parents Matt and Amy Roloff, both of whom have dwarfism due to a condition called achondroplasia. However, as time passed, the spotlight shifted to their 4 adult children Jeremy, Molly, Jacob, and the youngest, Tori Roloff. Tori Roloff, who has also become a successful entrepreneur and influencer, married Zach Roloff in 2017, and together they've built a life filled with love, adventure, and public visibility. But behind the picturesque moments shared on social media and the TV show, Tori and Zach have faced challenges that most parents never anticipate, specifically the reality that their 2 sons may inherit the same genetic condition that affects both of their families. In a recent interview and a heartfelt post on social media, Tori and Zach opened up about the emotional weight of knowing their children could grow up facing the same physical and societal obstacles they or their loved ones have experienced. It's a conversation that many couples with dwarfism grapple with, but one that is rarely spoken about so openly in mainstream media. While Tori and Zach are not genetically predisposed to achondroplasia, Tori inherited it from her parents. While Zach does not carry the gene, their children still face a chance of being born with some form of dwarfism. This possibility stems from Tori's own genetics. Because she has achondroplasia, there is a statistical probability that her children could inherit either achondroplasia or another type of dwarfism, depending on various factors. This reality came into sharp focus when Tori and Zach welcomed their first son, Jackson, in 2018. From the beginning, he was closely monitored by doctors, especially since Tori had a high-risk pregnancy due to complications related to her stature. While Jackson was born without any signs of dwarfism, the couple knew that their second child might not be so lucky. When Tori became pregnant again in early 2020, the couple prepared themselves emotionally for the possibility that their next child might inherit achondroplasia. Sure enough, when their second son, Mark, was born later that year, doctors confirmed what they had long feared: he had been diagnosed with achondroplasia. The news hit the couple hard, though not unexpectedly. They had spent months researching, talking to specialists, and preparing mentally for the possibility. Still, hearing the words "your child has achondroplasia" brought a wave of emotions: grief, concern, and yes, even guilt. In an emotional interview with a parenting magazine, Tori admitted, "It was really tough. We cried, we held each other, we questioned everything. Were we doing the right thing bringing a child into this world who might face the same struggles we did? Would we be able to protect him from pain and discrimination?" Zach echoed those sentiments. "We wanted our kids to have the best possible start in life, and when you know your child will face extra challenges, it's heartbreaking. But we also knew we couldn't change the way he was made. Our job is to love him unconditionally and give him every opportunity to thrive." Achondroplasia is the most common form of dwarfism, affecting approximately 1 in every 25,000 people. It results in shorter limbs and a smaller stature, but generally does not affect cognitive development or lifespan. However, individuals with achondroplasia often experience health complications such as spinal issues, breathing difficulties, and mobility challenges. Because Tori has achondroplasia and Zach does not, their children have a 50% chance of inheriting the condition. If a child inherits only 1 copy of the gene from Tori, they will have achondroplasia. If they inherit 2 copies, which is rare and typically only occurs when both parents have achondroplasia, the condition can be lethal at birth, a scenario that Tori and Zach were acutely aware of during the pregnancy. Thankfully, Mark inherited only 1 copy of the gene, meaning he will live with achondroplasia, but not face the more severe risks associated with double inheritance. Still, the diagnosis meant that their son would likely face surgeries, therapy, and ongoing medical care throughout his childhood. Rather than keeping the news private, Tori and Zach chose to share Mark's diagnosis publicly. In a candid Instagram post, Tori wrote, "Our sweet baby boy has been diagnosed with achondroplasia. It's something we always knew was a possibility, but nothing prepares you for the moment you hear it out loud. We're scared, but we're also hopeful. We know that with love, support, and the right resources, Mark will grow up strong and proud of who he is." The post received an overwhelming response from fans, medical professionals, and members of the little person community. Many praised the couple for their honesty and bravery in sharing such personal news. Others offered support and shared their own stories of raising children with dwarfism. Zach also spoke out, emphasizing the importance of representation and inclusion. "We want Mark to grow up seeing people like him in the media, in school, in everyday life. He shouldn't feel different because of how he looks. He should feel empowered." Despite their strength and determination, Tori and Zach admit that parenting a child with special needs comes with its own set of emotional hurdles. There are days filled with worry, frustration, and uncertainty. They've had to navigate complex medical systems, advocate for early intervention services, and prepare for future surgeries, all while managing the pressures of public scrutiny. Tori described one particularly difficult day. "We took Mark to a specialist, and I just broke down in the car afterward. Not because I don't love him more than anything, but because I hate that he'll have to fight harder just to be seen as equal. That's not fair to him." Zach added, "We're trying to stay positive, but it's hard not to think about what his life will be like. Will he get bullied? Will he struggle to find work? Will he ever feel like he belongs? Those thoughts keep me up at night." One of the most powerful tools for the couple has been connecting with others who understand their journey. They've joined online forums, reached out to other families affected by dwarfism, and even reconnected with Tori's parents, Matt and Amy, who have lived through similar experiences. Amy Roloff, who raised 3 children without dwarfism and one with, offered invaluable advice. "You learn to celebrate every milestone differently. You become your child's biggest advocate, and you teach them to embrace who they are. That's the most important thing." Through these connections, Tori and Zach have found comfort in knowing they aren't alone. They've also learned practical strategies for helping Mark thrive, everything from adaptive clothing and furniture to inclusive playgroups and therapies. As Mark grows, Tori and Zach are committed to giving him the tools he needs to live confidently and independently. They plan to enroll him in early intervention programs, ensure access to necessary medical care, and surround him with role models who look like him. They've also begun advocating for greater awareness around dwarfism, not just medically, but socially. They believe that increased visibility and understanding will help reduce stigma and create a more inclusive world for their son. "We know this path isn't easy," Tori said in a recent podcast interview, "but we also know it's full of beauty. Mark is perfect exactly as he is, and we wouldn't change a single thing about him. We just want the world to see him the way we do, with love, respect, and admiration." To other families going through similar journeys, Tori and Zach offer encouragement and solidarity. "Don't be afraid to ask for help," Zach said. "There are so many people out there who care and want to support you, and remember, you are not alone." Tori added, "Your child is not a burden. They are a blessing. Yes, there will be challenges, but there will also be joy beyond measure. Celebrate every smile, every step, every success. That's what matters most." Ultimately, Tori and Zach Roloff's story is one of love, resilience, and unwavering commitment to their children. While the reality of raising a child with achondroplasia is complex and sometimes painful, the couple continues to choose hope, advocacy, and unconditional love. Their openness about Mark's diagnosis has sparked important conversations about disability, parenting, and societal acceptance. More importantly, it has reminded viewers that every family faces unique challenges and that love, support, and education can make all the difference. In a world where differences are often misunderstood or overlooked, Tori and Zach are leading by example, showing that vulnerability can be powerful and that truth, when shared with compassion, can inspire real change. As they continue to raise their sons in a home filled with love and laughter, Tori and Zach